to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Ruchi and I'm so glad that you're here. This video is going to be a fun little TBR video for June. I'm excited that it's June because June is my birthday month, so of course I'm excited, but also I'm like, how is it June already? That's crazy. But anyway, I thought for this month's TBR we'll make it a bit more interactive, and I'm going to get you guys to choose on Instagram the books I'm going to read this month. And basically I just did that by having two kind of similar books, or two books that I liked and I wanted to read this month, to compete against each other. I just added little emojis that correlate to the story or what I think the story might be, or the like cover or something like that, and I got you guys to choose a book for me. So we did 6 stories, so I have 6 books that you guys chose, and this is the compilation of all the books. This is like 12 books in my hand right now and it's quite heavy, but yeah, let's get straight into it and I'll show you guys what books you chose and also what it got like compared to. But yeah, I'm excited. I feel like this is such a fun way to get you guys involved and do something a little bit different for TBR. So yeah, anyway, let's get straight into it. I need to get these out of my hand. The first story that I posted was this one, and it was 2 books that I pinned against each other. Obviously, one of them had a church with a love heart, which I guess is like a wedding, so that's kind of what I interpreted it as. So I've added that emoji for that book, and the other book I had a daisy, like the flower daisy. As you can see from the poll, the daisy won with 56% and the wedding one got 44%. These were the 2 books that I chose for that little poll. The first one was Daisy Hates, and I feel like if you read books you kind of knew where this was going. I have not read the rest of the Magnolia Park series because the first one like ruined me so much that I was just like, I'm gonna collect the books but I'm not gonna read them for some reason. So I really wanted to start getting back into it and just read it, because I know there's supposed to be one more Daisy Hates book coming out and the Magnolia Park side of it is like kind of done. So I just wanted to read it. So that's the first book that I kind of chose to compete, and so that was the one that won. The one that's competing against Daisy Hates is The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. This one I've had on my shelf for a really long time, and I'm trying to get through my physical TBR before I buy a lot of books, especially now that it's my birthday month. I feel like I might end up going a little bit crazy, so I wanted to kind of look out for that and try and get some physical books knocked off my physical TBR. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but you know what I mean. I think it's just gonna be a fun little romance, a little bit of fake dating, and I feel like it just sounds a lot of fun. So I thought I would read this one, but it didn't win. So I'm gonna be reading Daisy Hates this month. The second set of books that I put against each other, as you can see, one of them had a dagger on it and the other one had a hockey thing on it. And the dagger won by 100%, which is literally insane to me. No, I guess no one wanted me to read about hockey. If you see a dagger, you kind of assume that it's fantasy, so I think that's maybe what the line of thinking was. But the 2 books that I had put against each other were Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas and Consider Me by Becca Mack. And I think this is kind of like a series of hockey romances, and I have not really read any hockey romances, I don't think, but I've had this for a while also on my shelf, and the cover is actually so stunning. Like the watercolor is so beautiful. So I've been wanting to read this. It's been on my shelf, but yeah, you guys just didn't want me to read a hockey romance, which is fair enough. I'm going to be reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I'm super excited for this one. I've had this also on my shelf for a while. You're either like a Throne of Glass girly or an ACOTAR girly, and I have tried ACOTAR. I did like the first book. I just really didn't find it in myself to want to finish the series. I don't know, it just didn't live up to the hype as much as I thought it would, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a really great starting out fantasy, but when I read like other fantasies before reading ACOTAR, I kind of didn't find it as appealing, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I really am excited for this one. I feel like I might enjoy this series more. Okay, the next 2 books that I had against each other, as you can see, one of them had a cap and a pizza, the other one had a dog and a heart, and this one was, I was kind of confused on which one it would go. I was kind of okay with either way, but this one is pretty fun because the dog and the heart one, and these are the books that correspond to the images. So the first one with the cap and the pizza is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. Also has been on my shelf for a while, and I feel like it's been on previous TBRs. I've been wanting to read it but just haven't gotten to it, and I thought this would be fun, just like a fun little palette cleanser romance. The other one is also a romance, and the book that I compared it to is The Happy Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez, and I love Abby Jimenez. I love her writing. Yours Truly is one of my favorite books ever, and I'm yet to read Just for the Summer, but I will be reading that soon. And I just really wanted to kind of read a bit of her backlist, and I think this is also kind of like a standalone interconnected series kind of thing that she has. And I think the other books in this are The Friend Zone and Life's Too Short. I haven't read either of them, so I thought I would start off with this one. And surprisingly, this one won. So I chose obviously the dog because there is a dog on this one, and I think their meet cute is because she finds his dog, takes care of it, and turns out he's looking for the dog, and he's like a musician, so they kind of have this like long distance relationship because he's on tour, something like that. I feel like that's such a fun story, fun little romance. So that's the one that won. And then I obviously chose the pizza and the cat because it's on the cover of this one, because I didn't really know what else to correlate it with. But yeah, so we've got the Happy Ever After playlist as the third book on my TBR this month. Okay, so the next story that I posted was with these two books, and I don't know if anyone kind of got what the books were, but I kind of hoped one of them would win, but it didn't, and that's okay. So the two books that I was putting against each other was Binding 13 and My Dark Desire by LJ Shen and Parker S. Huntington. I, first of all, have been really wanting to read this, but I feel like the size of it, it just like intimidates me so much because how many pages is this? I think it's like 800 pages. I don't know. It's a lot of pages for a romance, but I know people have said this is like very much like a, you know, it's like a found family trope, like there's more to it, and there's like some very intense things that happen in this book. So I've been very curious about it, so I really wanted to read it, but alas, as you guys can see from the poll, you guys chose the other one, which is My Dark Desire, and that's okay. I kind of don't even know what this is about. I don't even remember when I bought it. All I know, I thought this was a billionaire romance, but it sounds like it's not billionaire romance, and it kind of sounds like it might be fantasy, but I have no idea. So I'm kind of going into this very blind. It just says, the task was simple: sneak into Zachary's son's closely guarded manor, retrieve my pendants, live out. Problem number one, America's most unattainable bachelor caught me. Problem number two, he decided to keep me as a help. I really don't know. It also says she's no ordinary Cinderella, so I really have no idea what this book is about. And I kind of just thought it was a billionaire romance, so that's why I use like the money and the heart. And then obviously for Binding 13, I use like the recovering heart because everyone says it's really heartbreaking, and the rugby because it's like I guess it's a rugby romance. I don't really know, but yeah, interesting. I'm curious about this now because I have really no idea what this will entail. So this is the fourth book of my TBR this month. Okay, we're really like zooming through this. The next two books that I compared together, I was kind of like, I would read either of them, and they're both YA. And the first one, as you can see, has like a little crown and a broken heart, and the other one has like a clock. I think that's a clock. I assumed it was a clock, and a purple heart. And the two books that correlate to that are If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan and What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther. As you can probably tell, this is the tiara with the heartbreak, and then this is the clock with the purple heart, which I feel like kind of just makes sense. Midnight, you know, clock. As you can see from the poll, What Happens After Midnight won by a landslide. People really wanted me to read this one instead. I'm excited to read this one. I kind of did start it, but then I didn't end up continuing to read it, but I'm excited to kind of see what it's about. I know she works with her ex. She's finishing school or boarding school, and she's about to graduate, but she works with her ex to execute the end of year prank. So she's working with him on this one, and I think as they're working together, like old feelings kind of resurface, something like that. I did read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther, and I did really enjoy like how she incorporated the game aspect. I felt like the book was a little bit too YA for me, or something about it just like didn't hit the way I thought it would. But I'm excited to read this one and see how I'll find it. And yeah, I do love the way she's incorporated games into her like way of people getting to know each other, and you understand characters. I think that's a really fun way to develop a story. It's like based on like a timeline of a game being played out. So it will be interesting to see how this like prank plays out and like how they're gonna work together. And I feel like it'll just be a fun little read. So yeah, that is the next book on my TBR. The last two books that I compared were kind of random. One of them I really wanted to win because I've been really seeing amazing things about this book, so I really wanted to read it. And the other one I just I didn't know what else to pick, so I kind of just chose it, but I should read it too because it's been on my physical TBR for a while. As you can see from the emojis, one of them had a person on a laptop, a heart, and someone working out with like, what's it called? What are they called? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But those thingies, barbell. Wow, you really can tell I've not been to the gym. Anyway, they're working out, and then the other book has the little cut scene. I don't know, those things that people in movies use, and A Recovering Heart, and I'm so glad to say that the second book won. And the two books I was comparing against each other in this one was The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. I also bought this pretty randomly. Oh, I just realized it has a little mention from Emily Henry saying that it's a perfect feel-good read. So that's good to know. This one follows Britta and Wes, and he's an app CEO and she's about to write a hot new body positive fitness app that includes personal training. So it's kind of why I use those gym things and like the computer, because they're kind of like developing an app together. And so her and the CEO of this app kind of like work together, don't really click, but also kind of are obsessed with each other, something like that. It's like a workplace romance, I think. So I did want to read this, but I'm really glad it didn't win because I wanted to read the other one more, which is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. I hope I'm saying that right, but I am so excited for this. I've heard so many amazing things and just like how heartbreaking it is, but just how real it is. And this one follows Helen and Grant. Helen is a best-selling author who can't write her own happy ever after. Grant is a screenwriter with the movie star looks who can't afford his therapist. So I think they have a bit of history and they kind of don't like each other, but they're put together to adapt one of Helen's books for television. So they need to work together, write together, I think. They have undeniable chemistry and attraction, but again, there's something in their past that kind of hinders them. But I've just seen some quotes and stuff from this book that just sound really, really good, and I'm really excited to read this one, and I'm keen to get to it and let you guys know how it goes. So there we have it, folks. We have our 6 books that are going to be on my TBR this month, and I'm super excited to read them. I honestly feel like I have got a good range of like different sort of styles of books to read. Starting off from the top, we have How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang, What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther, My Dark Desire by L.J. Shannon Parker S. Huntington, Happy Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god, I just realized I've been holding up the 3rd book in the series the entire time. And I literally did that for my story too. I used this book, which is like the 3rd one. Am I okay? I'm actually not okay. I have the 2nd one right here. I don't know what I was doing, but you guys know what I mean. I'm reading Daisy Hates. I'm not reading the 3rd one. I'm not reading The Great Undoing. I'm just reading Daisy Hates. Why am I such... Oh my gosh, that's really great. Anyway, those are the 6 books that I'm reading this month. Daisy Hates, not The Great Undoing, just Daisy Hates. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate any watch and any like and all of that. And I really would really appreciate if you stayed subscribed to my channel. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.